I want to show you what we're trying. So we got us a wireless dog fence, and I'm going to show you why. I have it set to 300 feet. Guys, that's one football field. And I want to try to zoom in here and show you that little white speck you see there in the woods. That would be our Millie and Fiona. And Mr. Pete, our neighbor, you see in the blue house there, has just walked his dogs outside to go potty. And when his dogs come outside, our dogs used to run over there and just give them heck. But as you can see, our dogs now have had to stop at exactly, I don't mean to laugh, guys, but our dogs have stopped there in the tree line. Now, I know it's too dark to see them because they're kind of shadowed into the trees. But our dogs can no longer get up into Mr. Pete's front yard where he's walking his dogs because they, in fact, have a little vibration going off on their collars right now. And they've learned that there's a hidden perimeter they cannot cross. So I'm not laughing about it. I hate that it has to be this way. But I'll tell you what, technology today, and before you go start screaming that you're shocking them, that's inhumane. Guys, we did not buy shock collars. We did not buy shock collars. We're not going to shock our animals. But, well, first of all, Trixie didn't have to wear one because Trixie, with all of her bad habits, one thing she will not do is ever leave my side. And if I holler and yell at her to come back, if she does wander off, she comes right back. So I'm trying to show you here. I'm going to walk out a little bit. I had it set for 500, but I didn't think that 500 was fair because that still allowed them to go into Mr. Pete's yard. You want to come home now? Now that you realize you can't go any further than that, look, they both stopped right there at my fence line. That is my property line. And I set it so this tree line is still my property. And so my property line goes all the way to where they're standing right there, right where his clearing of his yard is. And that is as far as my dogs can go. And I don't know how you feel about this kind of technology. Come on back now. But I'll tell you what, it certainly has saved Mr. Pete and my friendship as neighbors. And, okay, gotta do a keep to, it's fine. And so I like this. 300 foot also allows them to go down to the river, which is great. But it doesn't allow them to go into my other neighbor's yards here and just harass and bother Ollie him with his dogs. I want to walk over and talk to you about Dixie. Boy, she's feeling a lot better. I'm not going to go into all the details about anything in particular. I'm just so proud of Jamie because Jamie pretty much was able to do what she had to do to cure or at least remedy the colic. Now, the vet did take some x-rays of baby, don't do that in my video. Everyone loves you already. The vet did take some x-rays of her feet to see about this laminitis issue. But we'll find out more about that in the near future. But I do want to say that I admire Jamie for how courageous she had to be to, especially throughout the weekend without having a vet's help. And it just broke my heart, though, one night she was making her live. Jamie honestly thought that we were going to lose her that night. And while Jamie's out in the pasture making a live, already just distraught. Let me help take that off for you, baby. I need the other side. There were people laughing. Jamie was pouring her heart out to you all and let you be a part of a very emotional and heartfelt moment. And I'm just so upset with the people on the page who are laughing about that. Now, I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm sitting there trying to monitor. And the thing is, I'm sitting there seeing all these laughing faces. And you may not know this, but whenever someone clicks one of those little emoji faces, the like, the care, the heart, the mad face, the laughing face, You do, I get it. We all may do it once by mistake. It can happen, y'all. It can happen by mistake. But you do know that when you press it multiple times, it makes a very large face. And I was just so upset at people. I hate to say it that way, but I was just so upset with people for how cruel you were being. So gutless and just so heartless at such a hard time on Jamie especially. And Jamie's sitting there trying to make her live and try to keep her composure, having to see somebody, well, several people, I ended up being several people, just laughing their butts off, just thinking that was the funniest moment to hear a grown woman cry and see a horse in agony and pain. And then you had other people that kept popping up this mad face, just showing this anger. Like, I'm guessing, in your opinion, we didn't do something right, or we had done something wrong, or we weren't doing what you thought we should do. But I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of Jamie for doing enough research, digging what she had to dig, finding a way to get Dixie back on her feet, to help her with the colic. And then I can't even begin to list all of the things that she had to do to look where here she is now, not quite a week later, and she's standing here and she's pretty. She looks healthy again. Her eyes are open, and there's life in her. Guys, you can see life in her. She has, once again, she has life. Because I think that most of y'all who saw her that night would agree that we were wondering if she was going to make it through the weekend. We were wondering if she was going to make it through the weekend. And she ended up not only making it through the weekend, but now having a wonderful several days here. We're still keeping a close eye on her. Look at my birds. They're all running. They're just running. Just going to run. Just take a run before nighttime. Yeah. Anyway, we're real proud of Dixie, guys. She's looking real good. We're so blessed to have good vets and good people in our lives that we trust. Our farriers, Courtney and Ashley. Yes, don't you say no. And then, of course, our friend Rick. Rick was FaceTiming with us late at night, trying to talk us through things, and all of those people, and of course, not to mention Dr. Priestley, who she never made it out, but the advice that she gave as far as giving her the mineral oil and how we had to go about doing that to kind of help the colic. And the Dr. Cochran, when she came out, was real happy with the way that we had managed to do that on our own. And guess what? We may not have been pros at it. We have learned a lot, but we'll be a lot better prepared for next time. And so I'm just so proud of Dixie. We're still being cautious, guys. We kept keeping her in this pasture here with the goats, so I can keep an eye on her. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on you. Stop saying no. She wants to be back in the big pasture. She wants to run and play with all of her friends out there, but she doesn't want to be a goat because goats smell stinky, right? The goats are stinky, and you're not a stinky. No, ma'am, you're not a stinky. You're not. She doesn't want to be an ostrich either. She just wants to be a horse in a horse's pasture, and she wants to be a pony with her horse friend. I know she's a donkey, but don't tell her that, y'all.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.